6 o'clock on Monday, the 6th of January, 2020. Good evening and thank you for tuning in to the English edition of Ora News. My name is Christopher, bringing you the only update of the local Albanian news, translated into English. After 3 rejected invitations, January 6th finally concretized the meeting of the President of Kosovo. Hashim Thaçi, with the leader of Vetëvendosje movement, Albin Kurti, discussed the issue of appointing mandate for the formation of the new government. The meeting was held at the presidency at 3 p.m. and lasted for only a few minutes. After leaving the presidency, Kurti told reporters that maximum efforts were being made to form a government as soon as possible. We're doing our best and we should wish we could do it quicker. There will probably be political and institutional meetings with Hashim Thaçi in the future. I was very correct with the institutions. I made the offer on December 23rd, valid until midnight on December 24th for minorities. Since the offer was rejected, we did not want to delay the constitution of the assembly. We cannot go back in time. I too would like to be 10 years younger, but this is not possible. We need to take steps forward and not backwards, said Kurti. When asked about the scenario of going to early elections in the absence of concessions with the DLK, he said, "Citizens have chosen on October 6th. I don't think that they are interested in a re-election. But if elections are imposed on us as political entities, both in campaigns and in elections, we will definitely participate." President Thaçi sent Kurti 3 requests for a meeting, but all were rejected by the winner of the October 6th election. Prior to the Thaçi-Kurti meeting, the Democratic League of Kosovo held a meeting on the headship and parliamentary group. We will recall that on December 26, 2019, the Assembly of Kosovo was constituted where Glauq Konjuvca was elected as parliamentary speaker, but without an agreement with the DLK, although MPs voted in favor of Konjuvca. Vetëvendosje movement and the DLK have been negotiating since October 6 relations to reach a co-government agreement, but without any concrete results. January 6th, or the Day of the Holy Water, is an important holiday for Orthodox believers. It was celebrated with the Mass and the symbolic ceremony of throwing crosses in rivers and seas. 8 people defied below freezing temperatures and jumping into the river Osumi in Berat on the Day of the Blessed Water. For the 2nd year in a row, the cross was seized by 42-year-old Alfredi Mitku from the Gorica neighborhood. In Gjirokastër, the ceremony was held on the banks of the river Drini, whose waters were challenged by only 1 believer, while in Korça, the 30-year-old Dimitër Todo was the one who brought the cross out of the water. In the coastal cities, the Holy Cross was thrown into the sea. In Durrës, it was captured by 30-year-old Nicola Bici, in Vlora by Claudian Shani, and in Saranda by Telemak Papas. Similar ceremonies were held in all areas where there are Orthodox communities. Believers consider the water sacred because they believe it serves to heal the soul and body. Blessed Water Day celebrates the baptism of Jesus Christ in the waters of the Jordan River. From Monday, citizens can apply for 470 services through the e-Albania platform. This digital revolution, as Prime Minister Edi Rama called it, will cut time and queues at counters. Head of institutions urged the head of government to simplify procedures and reduce unnecessary documents. From this Monday, 470 public services will be provided online through the e-Albania platform. Prime Minister Edi Rama from the National Business Center informed citizens that during online applications, they should only provide individual documents, while state ones will be found by institutions, reducing bureaucracies and waiting at the counters. Just go to e-Albania, the National Business Center, and apply from today onward. You don't need to carry any physical documents with you, Edi Rama said. The Prime Minister urged the head of institutions to facilitate procedures and eliminate those documents that are not needed. These 2 months we have to continue assisting with the counters, then the counters will be closed. It will be a little difficult at first, but people will understand that this is the right path. By the end of the year, the government's goal is to provide 90% of public services online. Over 10,000 people coped with an unusual storm and lower temperatures that swept through the country Sunday evening. Many families in earthquake-affected areas say they're having difficulty finding new homes to rent. Temperatures which went down a few degrees below zero, which made life harder for families who left their homes after the November 26 earthquake in exchange for tents on the ground. The children were the ones who suffered the most, their only salvation being blankets supplied, provided by aid and volunteer organizations. In Maj, dozens of families withstand the unusual storm with summer umbrellas amid the cold and a lack of electricity, complaining that the local municipalities have forgotten them. But despite the harsh conditions, rural residents in Kuria and Kurbin refuse to leave their homes, saying they're protecting their properties and livelihood. But even those who have benefited from the rent bonus and Lach still find it difficult to find a home during this time of year. After announcing that hotel accommodations will be released soon, rents have tripled in price. 3,983 dwellings were identified as damaged by the earthquake in Neja district, and about 1,000 families have applied for the rent bonus, but are already struggling to find a new home. 5,000 illegal immigrants, more than in 2018, were seized last year by Albanian police and Frontex, who via Albania sought immigration to EU countries. Although 2,000 foreigners were captured last year, more than 8,000 have fled to Montenegro. The situation continues to be problematic in Greece, as there are 70,000 foreigners waiting to move to EU countries. During 2019, 5,000 more illegal immigrants than in 2018 were caught on the green border, attempting to cross into Albania with the final destination countries of the European Union. Despite the deployment of Frontex police officers in Kakavia and Kopštica, the number of migrants increased, as in 2018, around 7,000 citizens were captured. Prior to the arrival of the Frontex police force in May last year, 3,000 foreigners were seized by the border police, while the remaining 9,000 were detained during the period of operation by European police. Of the 12,000 migrants captured, about 3,000 have sought asylum in Albania, while the rest have returned from their country of origin, which is Greece. The highest influx of migrants result during the summer, during the months of September and November. Despite the detention of 12,000 migrants at the Albanian border, 8,600 clandestine have crossed into Montenegro. Last year's figures are double that of 2018, and that is the reason why the government has proposed deploying military forces to prevent the influx. Police sources indicate that the Montenegrin side has not yet taken such action, while the Albanian side is expected to consult. The situation continues to be problematic also in the neighboring country of Greece, where in 2019 there are more than 70,000 immigrants registered. And former Social Democratic Prime Minister Zoran Milanovic has been elected Croatia's new president. The main opposition candidate on Sunday won the runoff with outgoing President Kolinda Kitarovic, gaining 52.7% of the vote. For the next 5 years, he will hold mainly a ceremonial post, but also will decide on foreign, defense, and national security policies. I know there are a lot of people out there that aren't that fond of me, but we have to work with each other because we are in so small a number and we cannot live in the midst of divisions. For me, you won't be hearing stories about unity, nor for the subjects that citizens do not tolerate, Milanovic said. His rival, Kitarovic, who was running for a second term, congratulated the opponent on the victory. I am again calling for unity, and at this moment, I wish success to Zoran Milanovic because it is in my interest, his interest, in the interest of all the country's children, and in the interest of the Republic of Croatia and its progress, the right-wing politician added. The Croatian president is expected to take office in February, while the newest EU member will also have the presidency of the European Council in the first half of the year, when important events such as Zagreb's informal summit on the Western Balkans are envisioned, the agreement on the EU budget, and the conference on the future of Europe. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join us again every Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of Ora News, thank you and good night.